Promising new research about preventing colorectal cancer. There are certain non-prescription medicines that can help protect you from polyps. Colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer among Americans. In fact, more than 1/3 of people who develop it will die from the cancer. Researchers are now trying to figure out if anti-inflammatory medications can really prevent it. Joining me now this morning, Dr. Scot Ackerman with Ackerman Cancer Center. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. It's always good to see you. This is very interesting research because there are things then that if you're prone to colorectal cancer because you have family history, there are things that you can actually do now that don't involve any kind of prescription that really cuts down on your risks.
Absolutely. So what the study found was that people that have polyps, let's back up a little bit. A lot of people, we recommend colonoscopy, and we recommend colonoscopy to look for what we call polyps or adenomas in the colon. You've heard of colon polyps. And it turns out that for people that have colon cancer, 85% of those colon cancers began in a benign adenoma, a benign polyp. And what this study looked at was what medications, what drugs, what over-the-counter drugs could be used to prevent those polyps from progressing. Because if those polyps are removed, you don't want them to come back, and so certain drugs will prevent those polyps from growing. And if we can prevent those polyps from growing, then we'll reduce the risk of ultimately developing colon cancer.
And it's interesting, too, because what they specifically looked at then was things that, for example, like ibuprofen, aspirin, and also some vitamins as well. Because, I mean, there are people who take vitamins with the hopes of being like vitamin D and folic acid, calcium, I think, are among them. And so what researchers did is they compared which one of these is most effective in reducing your risk then. And they came up with ibuprofen. Does that surprise you?
A little bit, but I think it's good. What they looked at was they took many, many studies that were already out in the literature and did what we call a meta-analysis of all the results of the studies. So there have been studies that have looked at folic acid and its ability to prevent the growth of these adenomas. There's also been studies that have looked at calcium to prevent this, and vitamin D we talk about a lot in colorectal cancer. And when they did this meta-analysis, where they combined all these studies together, they found out that the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, such as ibuprofen, which is in Advil and Motrin, or naproxen, which is in Aleve, that this class of drugs had the greatest impact on reducing the progression of these adenomas, reducing the recurrence or the growth of these benign adenomas, which many ultimately lead to colon cancer.
So then if you're at home and you know that you have a high risk, your doctor has told you to come back every 3 to 5 years, how much, the suggestion is that you take one a day? One Aleve or 200 milligrams or of Aleve or Motrin, you know, something like that a day to help then prevent those from coming back?
Right, just one pill, one Aleve or one, which is naproxen, or one Advil or Motrin a day is what's usually used in these studies to look at reducing the risk of the progression of the adenomas. Now, one thing that researchers found was that aspirin was not quite as good as these non-steroidals, such as Aleve and Motrin, but it had less side effects and less problems with aspirin, less other health problems with aspirin.
Bleeding in the stomach and things, you know.
So aspirin can cause bleeding in the stomach, but the ibuprofen and the naproxen have a higher incidence of bleeding in the stomach. And those drugs have a higher incidence of ringing in the ears. And there's also been some association with those drugs and stroke. And so one needs to weigh the risks of those drugs against the benefits. And aspirin, although not as good as those drugs, is a safer drug, a safer medication to take, and is almost as good at reducing the progression of these adenomas.
So it sounds like one or the other is not going to hurt you as long as you consult your doctor. And then just very quickly, vitamin D and folic acid and calcium, okay to take those with these because, you know, they do help in with prevention.
Right. This study showed that they were beneficial as well, but not as much as the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories.
Doc, thank you very much for being here. Do appreciate it. And of course, for the latest health news, you can go to news4jax.com. There you'll also find this interview. You can watch it in its entirety. We'll post it later this morning on the Morning Show page.